think we have the... Good evening, fellow Toastmasters.
Good evening.
As I was thinking of a subject to speak about for my third speech, I realized that this subject that I was going to speak about was about myself and how to handle my third speech. I'm going to talk to you about stress management. And after going after Alec and that speech, my stress levels have gone from here to here.
Oh no.
Thank you, Alec, for that. I wanted to talk about stress management because stress is something that affects our life daily in all aspects of our life. Family demands, career demands, our kids, church obligations, you name it, we are constantly under stress. So we need to figure out ways that we can manage stress. The American Institute of Stress says that many disorders, emotional and physical disorders, such as heart attacks, strokes, multiple sclerosis, rheumatoid arthritis, are all linked to stress. Even skin rashes, ulcers, you name it. We need to find a way to manage life without being under that constant level of stress and anxiety. Some of the symptoms of stress are constant headaches, insomnia, depression, increase and decreases of appetite, lack of being able to perform at work, and therefore I knew that this topic would not only help me as I'm sitting here and speaking to myself, but also hopefully help one of you. To give you a little bit of my insight, last year was a tough year for my family. I lost 2 uncles within a matter of 3 months. My third uncle, because of the stress that was causing in the family's life, was so anxious, depressed, many things were going on in his mind, and 2 months later, we lost him as well. And I don't want this to be a sad speech. I took it as a learning experience, and even though it's an unfortunate situation in our family that my grandmother lost 3 sons in a matter of 6 months, I think it speaks to how we are in control of being able to manage those stress levels. There are things that we cannot control, but we need to learn how to cope with them and keep on moving. Look at the offside, being able to turn things around and make for the best. We still have my grandmother, who is the most affected by it all, and she is dancing salsa and still have a huge smile on her face regardless of what had occurred. So the first point is you have to identify the sources of your stress. Sometimes we always look at the outside to know what's causing our stress level, but we forget to look at within. We're stressed out about work deadlines, and as Jan always said once, sometimes it's because we procrastinate. It's not really because of outside circumstances, because we don't know how to manage our time well. The second point is we need to avoid unnecessary stress. We've seen coworkers who are constantly chatting away while we're trying to meet work deadlines, or who love to talk about politics and religion. If that stresses you out, avoid the situation by either interrupting the person and saying, I'm sorry, I have to keep on working, or try to limit the amount of time you spend with that person in a professional and respectful way. There are ways you can do that. The second point is we need to alter the situation. What I mean by that is sometimes we let things bottle up inside and we don't say them. If you're having issues with your spouse, you should talk about it. Don't let it build up, because building it up is not going to fix the situation. Building it up is only going to affect us more, and as a result, cause those same disorders that I spoke at the beginning. Why have a heart attack of something that I can prevent? And why is my health going to be affected when there's something that I can control? There are things that are uncontrollable. The death of a family, the loss of a job, a critical illness. But even those situations, there are ways that we can control them. There are ways that we can cope with them and try to handle them and look at what we can get out of that unfortunate situation. It's not easy, but it's doable. The third thing would be, we need to make time for ourselves. Sometimes we forget, with the hustle and bustle of the daily lives, we forget to really make time for ourselves. Go work out, talk to a friend. One of the pointers that I was reading about was surround yourself with positive people that can make your life better. To me, that's what I'm doing here. As stressful as this situation can be, and believe me, it is very stressful, I feel like I'm surrounded with a positive group that can only inspire me to do better and become a better speaker. But not only that, it's a matter of how we can learn from each other in many different ways. And speeches, to me, is one of the ways that I learn about other people that inspire me and want me to do different things outside of just being up here and talking to you guys. And finally, is you need to have a healthy lifestyle. If you don't nurture yourself, if you don't take care of yourself by your sleep, making sure you have enough sleep to heal your mind and body and have a clear-headed mind, to be able to eat well and healthy. If those are one of the key points about reducing stress level, and people forget to really look at that as a focus. So in the end, you are in control on how you can affect your life. Take charge and don't let small situations or even big situations affect your life when it comes to stress. You can manage it. Just have to be in control.